Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, classmates. Today, we will discuss to you the utilization and control measure of electronic banking in the global marketplace and the risk of electronic banking. Electronic banking offers a lot of benefits to individual customers, businesses, and banks. However, one should not ignore the risks associated with the virtual banking either.
Utilization and control measures of electronic banking in the global marketplace. As electronic banking usage increases, so will the instances of fraud. Therefore, the need for controls to minimize risk and prevent and detect fraudulent activity is critical. We need to be extra careful in our every transaction, especially with sharing our username and password or one-time password to other people. Our account is at risk if we share our password. And worst if happen, if they will steal our data and uses it in illegal transactions.
Below is the best character guidance that can help protect you against fraud associated with electronic banking. User ID and password. First, generate a strong password by having at least 8 characters, combination of mixed case letters, special characters, and numbers. Second, change your password regularly. Third, do not share your user ID and password with third-party providers. And lastly, avoid using automatic login features that save passwords and username.
Here is some tips how we can protect account data and online payments. First is ensure logging off when completing an online transaction. So after we open our accounts online, we make sure that after all it is closed. Then the second is use separate account for papers and electronic transactions to monitor and track any discrepancies. So we need to separate the account for papers and also the electronic transactions so that we can compare if there is a difference between the two. Then we can ask an assistant earlier about that errors to the bank. Third is monitor account activity and review all transactions initiated by the company on a daily basis. So we need to monitor our account so that we know that our account is secure from any errors or from the hacker. The last one is computer being used for banking need to be protected with virus protection software and log-on password. So we need to use a strong password so that there is no any errors happen in our account.
Risk of electronic banking. There are lots of benefits offered by electronic banking. However, individuals and businesses should also be aware of the risks involved. These risks are magnified due to the use of electronic channels and the absence of geographical boundaries.
Operational risks. This is also called as transaction risks, which is considered as the most common type of electronic banking risk. Operational risks covers incorrect transaction processing, compromises in data privacy, and confidentially authorized access to banks' system, and even human factors such as negligence, frauds, and hackers. Security risks. The paramount importance in electronic banking is the security of banking transaction. Every parties want to have confidentiality in their transactions. However, since information is available online, some unauthorized individuals or hackers might retrieve some information and misuse it.
Reputational risk. It is the primordial concern of every entity, especially the bank, to maintain good reputations. If the bank failed to perform critical banking function, then it will face a risk of losing its reputation, which will eventually lead to decreased market shares. Legal risk. These risks occur when there are violations of laws, regulations, or obligations of any parties in a business transactions. Then ambiguity of certain laws and rules also increase the legal risk.
Cross-border risk. Electronic banking's core idea is to expand its geographical reach, which could go beyond the national borders. This expansion may lead to severe cross-border risks, legal and regulatory risks, uncertainties regarding on the legal requirements and jurisdictions of certain countries, operational risks, the challenges experienced by banks in monitoring varied service providers in different countries, credit risk, the difficulty in appraising the loan applications of customers from different
Strategic risk. This electronic banking risk is associated with issues related with business plan, development, credibility of the vendors, sufficiency of financial resources, changes in the working environment, and the level of technology being used. Money laundering. Money laundering risk is a crime wherein an unlawful activity covering a single series of combination of unusual large and complex transaction in cash deposit, an investment to a credible purpose or origin underlying trade contract. It is challenging for banks to detect and prevent criminal activities since electronic banking transactions are done remotely.
countries.
Okay, good evening all. Phishing is unsuspecting customers to provide sensitive personal information or downloading malware through an electronic communication. Sensitivities and information may include username, password, and details and other information. Smishing. This is a form of phishing in which someone tries to trick somebody to gain access to confidential account information, via text or SMS message. Vishing. A combination of voice and phishing in which victims are tricked into disclosing sensitive personal information through a phone or call or voice response.
Hey everyone, I am Annabel P. Sereno, and the assigned topic for me is a conclusion about the utilization and control measures of electronic banking in the global marketplace. So when we say utilization, it is an act or instance of making practical or profitable use of something. And control measures are actions and or activities that are taken to prevent, eliminate, or reduce the occurrence of a hazard that we have identified. There is a first global competition within the banking industry. Therefore, banks endeavor to grow and strive to increase their market share. Today, due to the global competition among financial organizations, market share plays a vital role in banks' success. Studies have recognized that a bank's market share is a key element of a bank's profitability, growth, and survival. So therefore, striving to achieve a significant share of a whole market is a great importance for all e-banks and banks and other financial organizations wanting to grow and to survive in a competitive environment. So even though we have knowledge about e-banking is high among the studied population, utilization of these facilities is low.